of the opening, we are going to get to a position where there's kind of a clear game plan. As you can see, white has some light squared complex to work with and begins an expansion on that side of the board. We have c4, and we have black trying to prevent white from ever getting c5, which would be unpleasant. So given that these pieces are sort of clustered, Lanier plays this very interesting knight h4 to try to get something going over here while the black pieces are stuck. All right, he gets the bishop over there, forces black into an exchange, but Rashid is doing a nice job. This knight is really annoying, for example. Rook e3, rook c3, constant pressure, and this move is begging to be played. It's a little bit.
Hi again, guys. Sorry, I didn't start recording from the beginning. I was following this recap about Olympiad, and at the same time I'm trying to fix this, as you can see here, these pins. So as you can see here, I will try to solder that flex cable of the HDD connector of this board of Lenovo Idea pad 330, and this is the third part the issue of this board, which was water damage and water cans have to this near this connection, the connector, as we have seen in the first previous two parts, part 1 and part 2. So, and we said that we were left only with 3 pads, 3 remaining pads, and the other 5, sorry, we were left with 5 pads, and as you can see here in the video, we have fixed these 5 by soldering each one to each pin of the fixed cable to the corresponding pad. And now we have, as the board view suggests, we have, let me show you, we have, let me find the board view first, and then, so the board view is, where is that board view? Yes, there. Okay. So here, and let's rotate here. This. So we say that the first 3. So for the 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, these 5, they are already fixed, as you can see in the soap here. So we still need to fix the others. So 1 and 2 and 3 are the 5 volts line. 4 is the ground, so it doesn't matter, we already have 1 ground fixed, 2 grounds, the 7 and 10. So in fact this 4 we may just not even bothering ourselves with it, or we can connect it to any nearby ground. So we need to fix now the pin number 5. And the other 3 remaining 3 are for the 5 volt, and we can fix them nearest point. It's a capacitor and we just need a wire to these three pins at once. So we see that these three pins, so these three pins, these three can be uh, joined together. So we can join them together like this, and we will be left with this one and this one. So the fourth we say is the, so number one begins from here. So we have 3 or 5 volt. The fourth we say that it's ground. We can, if we need to connect it, we can connect it to this ground. And this one we have to connect it to the nearest point, which is this one of these cups here. We have 3 cups here, as you can see, 4, 5 cups. In fact, there are only 4. The other one is missing, it's not there by default. So let's see that again. So here, so this 5 volt can be fixed either here on this point, or here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or here. So we have a lot of points. We can just use the nearest one, which is this big capacitor, as it will be easy to solder a wire here. And so that's what we are going to do, and then we will see if things are, if our HDD is detected by the board or not. So see you after fixing these pins. So here we have our wires, jump pins are done. As you can see here, so let me show you. You can see here, so here we have the, let me fix mouse. So okay, I don't know why the mouse doesn't show here in the picture. Anyway, as you can see here, we have all the connections, the 5 volt, the ground to the nearby ground, and the data line to the small cup, and the wire to the biggest cup is the 5 volt line, and the other one of course is the ground, which in fact we don't need to use, as we have the other grounds are already connected. But anyway, I use it as it's easy and no problem on jumping it. So everything is fixed. I'm going to use some UV here and do some cleaning and use some UV. But before that, we have to check if the HDD is detected by our board. So let's put the I have tested the SSD. It's fine. It's good. We can test with it. Now let's just put the board. Pay attention to this cable. So I have to use some tape here in order to prevent it from moving to sides. Otherwise, cold drinks may let me use another piece of tape, not this one. So I'm going to use this one. This. Perfect. Now let's put. In fact, we should avoid connecting the keyboard for the moment, as we have said in the first part, and the second part, the water damage was from the side of the keyboard, so the water was dropped on the keyboard. So we won't plunge the keyboard until checking if our HDD is detected first. So we have to check that first, and then we are going to see what to do with the keyboard. Let's fix these cables. Okay. Now, speaker, yes, why not? Let's put it. The fan. I'm just going to put this temporarily to check it's working fine or not. Let's tape these antennas of the Wi-Fi. Let's use tape for the moment. We don't want to see any other burnings on the board. We can use a screw to hold this fan in place, and this screw will also hold the board at the same time. So as you can see, I haven't plugged the keyboard connector. Let's put the HDD there. And let's put it on its case first. So this is where it was before in this case. Then gently manipulate this HDD connector. We don't need any surprises for the moment. So medium for you a little. we have to put here first. Then push it here inside. Like this. So it's fixed. Now let's like this. Put machine cable. And I use one or two screws here. Here. I will use two. One now. Let's use it here. And that's fine. Now, the moment of truth. This is the flex cable for the mouse or trackpad. I prefer to remove it for the moment. Maybe, who knows if there's water in this area of trackpad, who knows. So let's remove it for the moment, and now let's power the laptop or the board. So we have the connector from this side. Let's, yes, the power supply is off. Let's make it on. Let's put the power in again. Okay. Put the logo. Yeah, we got the Windows. Which is oh, so the keyboard of course is not plugged, so need to try to test keyboard. So that's fine. So I'm going to use some UV on those connections, which I have just unplugged this. Okay, yes, I don't have to do that when Windows is on, but I think it won't harm. So I won't do that again with the same laptop. If you did that once, don't do it again. So I'm going to use some UV here and some hot glue. Secure these connections which we have done. Until that, I am going to pause the video now and see you in a while. So UV applied, and I will let that dry, and then we'll show you how it looks. So let's pause the video here and see you later. So meanwhile, I can show you some photos about my previous work on this same board. Just remove this. So in the picture here, it's the flex cable when I make those pins naked. So I used, in fact, hot air to remove that plastic, but to avoid burning all the plastic here, so you can use something like I have used, in fact, this two piece of metals which I put together, one on this side and the other on the other side, and align them and holding them firmly so that the hot air maybe just applied to the extremity of this cable. Then when after applying some hot air on that plastic, you can then use like this what do you call this, razor, or what do you call it? So this blade, so you can use something, but in fact I have used this to cover. I have used this like this. So let's, for example, this one. So I have one here and the other on the other side like this, and hold them firmly with tweezer. This, and let me zoom for you. Okay, and then like this. So, and then hot air applied to this extremity, and after that I remove. In fact, you have to remove this piece of plastic first. This one, you remove it manually first. Then you can use, if you want, you can use, if you have a tweezer which has no hole like this, you can use it like this and hold it firmly if that can of course cover and avoid the hot air to come down to within the flex cable. So like this, and firmly holding it like this, and apply hot air just on the extremity. And next photo, it's about this one. Let me show you. Yes, this one is so what you see here in white, it's tape which I used to fix the flex cable down on a small board, and I have applied some solder on the pins, as you can see in the photo. The following picture is how I solder the pins. So I have started with this one, the first one from this side, first one, I mean by the first one, the first pad, remaining pads, of course, the first pad remaining, I started from here and I fixed the corresponding pin. Then I used, in fact, I used, with my left hand, I have a needle which I use to hold down the pins on the pads and then solder. Then the next one, then I came with the third one on the following on the corresponding pad, then the other one, then the other one, until I soldered all the 5 pins. Then I was left with these other 5, with these other 4s. Yes, 4, as we have only, we have 10 pins, so let me count: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Yes, so 5 fixed. So this is the first one. This is the first one. The first one, second, third, first, second, third, fourth, and 5. So 1 2 3 4 5, and there remaining 1 2 3 and 4 and 5. Yes, that's it. So the others you have seen in the video, that these first 3 are the 5-volt. The next one is the ground, and the other one is the 5-volt. The air, the signal, this signal, the air, the 5-volt. Yes, the PRX signal. So that was the photos which I have made for you. So I don't want to record the whole of my work, because I from time to time get disturbed by clients and neighbors here asking for things.